back. We do the click.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Punch Me In podcast. Episode 2.
Episode 2. Here we go. What are we going to do this episode?
I think we can talk a little bit about the life and world situation right now. How we are
Yes.
dealing with the pandemic, what the
Yeah.
situation is in the Netherlands right now,
Right.
how it affects us, and how it affects our mental health and our inspiration and all that.
As artists.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
else? What else can we
Yeah.
talk about?
Well, human beings. I mean,
How much music do you make? What kind of music are you making right now? Are you doing collaborations? Are you traveling? Obviously,
Right.
probably not. But like,
well, you're
how
here.
is that affecting? Yeah, I am here in Amsterdam. I live in Rotterdam, so online, offline.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, we can talk about those things.
Yeah. All right.
We're back in Amsterdam here.
We're back in Amsterdam, back at Graphic Design Studio Van Lennep.
Yep, it's great to be in
Yes.
this place. This is a really cool
Thanks.
backdrop. Thanks to Van Lennep.
Yeah.
That's awesome that he lets us.
So how are you today?
I am pretty good. I did forget the mic stand, so a little flustered maybe. But it's a Sunday. I feel fine.
It's an impro.
Yeah. It is. It's a learning curve that
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah,
you
yeah.
forget stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's normal.
Well, yeah, you adapt.
What about you?
I'm good. I'm good health. So that's
Same. I think
Here
that's
we are.
probably the most important thing right now for you to be healthy and for your family to be healthy.
in my family.
Friends.
My sister is
Oh, she has COVID?
yeah.
Damn.
My cousin
Right now?
as well. Yeah, right now.
Are they okay?
More or less.
More or less. They are sick, but
Tired.
not crazy.
Very tired. Headache, stomach.
Mm. Do you know a lot of people who
Yeah.
have had it?
Yeah.
Is that a lot? Is it like 20 or 10 or like? Because I spoke to someone yesterday in Chicago, FaceTime,
Right.
and he said he knew 20 people that got COVID around him. I was like, whoa! I think I've only heard of like 3 or 5 people around me who got
Well,
the
to be
virus.
honest, with you, I teach at the conservatory in Enschede, and I got a lot of emails.
I have it, and
Yes,
Positive
and the classes are being switched from online to offline, and all stuff is changing over there because
they are
there's
switching back to offline in
uh,
real life lessons.
they were,
Oh.
and
And now they're back again. It's kind of like the lockdown in the Netherlands. Like we're opening and then we're closing.
but I mean
We're
there were
opening.
so many people infected,
Yeah,
so they had to.
yeah, of course.
But also, I don't know. Do you ask a lot of people, "Hey, did you have COVID?"
No,
It's not a.
I never really.
It's not a
do.
topic.
No.
It's not something you
Well,
say.
COVID is a topic.
Yeah, but
like
I
you
mean-
talk about this way too much. We'll also try to keep it a little short for the people who are COVID tired. The conversation. But it's just interesting. We've been in lockdown for months now. Like the Netherlands
Right.
for months. And
Right.
everybody's sick of it.
And still the numbers are going up.
Yeah,
So,
actually, like I thought they were going down, and I just checked yesterday,
Yeah.
and it's like all the way
Going up.
back again. So
Yeah.
it's like, oh shit, when are we gonna
Yeah.
get out of this?
Yeah.
Because they were talking about opening some stuff again
right.
last week, and now the numbers are so bad we can't do that. So it's like
We have to wait till we are vaccinated, I
Yeah,
guess.
I think so.
That's
They're
the-
talking about summer, fall, 2021, people being vaccinated mostly. So there's hope, I guess.
July.
At least now
July.
there's starting to get a point
Yeah.
in the horizon that you
Yeah,
can be like,
right.
okay, well maybe
Yeah.
we can get somewhere in half a year or I don't know.
And what did it do to your creativity, or maybe how much output did it affect your output? I mean,
I think it did. I think it must have, but more unconsciously. I like it. I don't know. I always try to create when it hits me,
Right.
when I feel like, oh, I really want to make something right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
Then I
yeah,
start
yeah.
making something, but
inspiration.
there's not that much inspiration right now, of course, since you're in your home all the way, all the time, and you start getting more in your head, So I think I had less inspiration last year, but still I forced myself to have an output that was high enough to maintain my consistent releases.
Right. Right.
But yeah, I definitely noticed, especially at the beginning.
Mm.
Like, I think like everyone kind of was like, "Holy shit, what's happening? And where is this gonna go?
Right.
Like, how bad is this virus?" Or
Right.
like, and then I kind of like panicked at the beginning. So
Oh,
I think,
really?
yeah, I was like really. I was actually like tripping. Yeah, I was like, I think I was like walking through the streets in Amersfoort. I still live
Yeah.
there.
Right.
And I think this energy was really weird. Everyone was keeping distance from each other, and I think I was kind of like in a bad headspace.
Yeah.
I don't think I made much music in that time.
There was
Like,
a lot of fear.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
100%.
a lot of fear.
I was not making a lot of music back then, but now I feel like I'm, you know, you also get used to everything. So
But we adapt.
yeah, we adapt, and I think I'm back on my creative
Right.
thing right now. But also, like I just said, I always only try to create right now if I feel like it, because I can't force it if there's no inspiration, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can, but I don't want to. What
It
about
feels kind of.
you? Can always force yourself to make music, right? We got the skills, you know. You can just go sit and be like, now I'm making something, and something will come out. But I, like recently, only try to do when I want to, because if I feel like I'm stuck in my home all the time,
Right.
I'm gonna force myself too much. I don't know if the creativity is gonna flow. I don't know how you feel about that. I think you also mentioned you only make music when it hits you, right, or when you want to.
But I've had a.
It's officially, by the way, a luxury position. Like, I am also financially stable enough to be only making music when I want to.
Right.
You know, not everyone has that.
As
I guess.
that, yeah. That's it. Well, yeah.
I guess you can always. It's a choice. It's just a choice. You know, I don't have to make music and force myself because I need to pay my rent with the
Right,
music. Like, I
right.
can chill and, you
Right,
know, like take
right.
go do my emails or do other stuff that also needs to happen.
So there's no economic pressure
No.
to.
For me, no.
No,
So that's
right.
that is a blessing, and I am really grateful for that. But that's why I'm choosing to only make music right now when I want to, when I feel inspired. And obviously that actually has been also different kinds of music recently. Like I've been working on this little house EP, or like it's like dancey stuff.
Yeah, right.
Kechornada, or like lo-fi house.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Because
yeah.
it's something else, and like we're obviously stuck inside, so I don't know, something that moves me
Yeah.
is fun for me. I can imagine other people are making like really calm stuff right now because they are.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's interesting.
more uplifting.
Yeah, I am making more uplifting stuff recently because I have this energy in me, and it needs to get out. So I'll put it in music.
Right. Yeah. That's interesting. It's interesting as well. Do we make more calm, soothing sounds, and more like
What are you making recently?
I didn't. I make all kinds of music.
No.
So
there's no one answer to this.
for me,
So every time is different.
inspiration is everywhere,
Same to me.
every time, all the time.
Oh.
So
So you don't even have this lack of inspiration.
I don't believe in lack of inspiration.
I
My-
honestly
my,
really relate to that, and I also don't believe in like, for example, if you have a writer's block, you can just like go to take a walk around the park and then force yourself to write something, and something will be on the paper at the end of this, and then. Can you even talk about this? But it's still, like, it is a thing. Like, how you are feeling reflects what you are making, I think. And if you don't feel like making music or writing lyrics or whatever, then I guess that is a lack of inspiration, right? Or how do you see that?
There's a difference between creating something and having thoughts about what you have created. And the writer's block, I suffered from one years ago. is that the thoughts, and in this particular case, the negative thoughts
Yeah.
about what I make or what I've been making are so big, they take over everything in the mind that even the intention of making something is already
Too
being
much.
covered by those negative thoughts. That is my description
Do you
of
mean
a,
like
of
thoughts
a,
like this is not good enough?
it's not good enough. I'm not good enough. I can make it. Compare. You compare all the things. You want to be something else.
Yeah.
It's never good enough. It's that little voice inside your head. I'm not worth it. Whatever I make, it's not worth being exposed to somebody else. It doesn't deserve listeners and stuff like that. It's a bunch of.
I also had this thought
And that's
sometimes.
a writer's block.
Yeah.
When those thoughts become so big in your head that even just the intention of let's make something is being attacked by all those thoughts. So you don't even make something.
You don't even want to, I guess.
Well, you want to.
Yeah.
That's
You want to make something, but you
then
don't.
it's being taken over by those negative thoughts, and that in itself creates kind of a spiral and very negative cycle.
So that doesn't necessarily have to do with inspiration, is what you're saying. That has to do with negative thoughts and stuff, not per se inspiration. Like you just said, I don't believe in a lack of inspiration, but you do obviously believe in a writer's block because you've had one. So you say these things don't necessarily relate to each other.
Inspiration is something else. Inspiration is, in my mind, is being open. Always keep an open mind.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's always there. There are thoughts all the time. You hear sounds, and it's just being open. You can see, but actually, like there's a difference between hearing something, or listening. Mm-hmm. Listening inside what is already there.
Yeah,
that,
true.
Or in the outside, and that's what I call inspiration. And since that,
it's just about like how you feel. I think like if you
emotions
feel inspired. For example, I moved to Rotterdam in October 2020, so that's like a half year ago now, almost. And I remember when I moved, and I have this every time I move. I think the first couple weeks, this new house, this new place, everything is new.
Yeah.
And you have this fresh energy.
Right.
Which feels like inspiration to me. And then I start creating a lot of music.
Mm-hmm.
Then after a couple months, it starts to become normal.
Mm-hmm.
And I already notice my output is lower. And I'm like, that's what I mean, like, with if I would travel right now to Barcelona for a week with, have a little vacation or whatever. And I would take my laptop there and make a track. I would be in a new environment, so I'd probably be really inspired by everything that I see. And obviously I can look outside of my window right now in Rotterdam and see like birds and trams and trees and be inspired by that. But it's just harder because I have to get in that feeling of something new again, or like being present or discovering something, or get inspired by something or hit by something or touched. And I think that's a lot easier when you have external things happening, or traveling, or social events, or for me personally.
But yeah, I can, I think definitely everybody needs a change
of environment sometimes.
Yeah, that's
it's good
that's
for
true.
someone, I think. And it's good for my art. I always notice, like, it's good for my art.
And then again,
to go places or.
But then again, I mean, it's the same here in Amsterdam, it's the same Rotterdam. It's a very big city. You can look for inspiration by just going somewhere on your bike, discover places. I mean,
True.
I'm sure that.
But
there's. True. You look out your window. So now in this COVID situation, maybe it's a bit different.
Yeah, you can't really discover the city like you could.
You really could.
But you still can outside.
Of course.
Discover it.
Of course. It's just the difference between looking and seeing. It's like, do you see?
It reminds me of something, man. It reminds me of me and the gym, for example. Like, I was going to the gym pretty consistently, before it closed down. So
Right.
October or September or something.
Right.
And now I can just do it outside, right? I could go
course.
outside, run. I
Yeah.
could do work, whatever. I could do.
Yeah.
I could work out or either in my house or
Yeah.
outside.
Right.
And I just don't do it because it's like, yeah, well, I can, and it's the same thing with like discovering Rotterdam.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I can't go to a bar or to a museum, so I can't discover Rotterdam. But you actually can.
Yeah, of course.
But it's just you,
and Rotterdam has
no, but it's like an
the
easy
biggest
excuse
harbor. Yeah, it's like
to
an
not do
excuse.
it.
Yeah, it's,
and it's like with same with the gym. It's an easy.
It's-
Oh, I can't go to the gym. I can't do sports with my friends, so I have to do it alone in my house or outside. Well, never mind. I'll just not do it.
it's like inviting inspiration. That's how I call it. I invite
Yeah.
inspiration.
You have to like actually now that you said like that's the biggest what's it called? It has the biggest docks harbor
Yeah,
of,
wow,
of
man.
Europe, and I haven't even went.
It's
Yeah.
talking about inspiration. All
Yeah.
these wow,
Yeah,
you know, it's
true.
it's the biggest harbor in
It's
Europe.
all about choice. Like you can get yourself inspired if you want to. You could literally rent a car, go to the Veluwe, and
Yeah.
like whatever you want to. Honestly,
So you can look it up. You can invite inspiration instead of waiting for it. I discovered that a long time ago. If I start waiting,
do you do it often?
of course,
Yeah.
of course.
How often? Are you actively
I go by
inviting
bike.
in?
I go by, all the time. It's always keep an open mind.
Yeah, no, I agree, but like,
It's like this.
I think there's probably a difference in between biking, for example, and having an open mind and getting inspired by what you see, or actively saying to yourself, right now I'm going to the harbor of Rotterdam and I'm gonna go and see what's up there, and after that I'm gonna come home, be inspired.
I don't know. There's some similarity. It's still you who make a decision to actively do something.
True.
So
Yeah.
there's a
It
difference.
doesn't
but-
really matter, but
But I mean,
it's an interesting
it's
take. I
interesting.
actually love your thoughts about it because it's like, it's a different perspective than mine, and I like it because it's a positive one.
But to be honest with you, it was hell to have in a
What do you mean?
to have a how did you call it no inspiration and
Yeah, like a writer's block.
a writer's block. It's hell.
Yeah.
It's hell. It's the thing that
It sucks.
maybe you, but I love to create. I love to write songs. I love to make new stuff.
Yeah.
So having those thoughts like
Yeah.
oh
sucks.
man,
And
it's
also,
like a monster.
Especially when you see
And-
your friends or other people around you creating so much music and you're just not, you want to, but
Well,
you
there
don't
you go.
feel like it. Or
Well,
you're
there
not,
you go.
You're like unmotivated, but
It's like
you still-
comparing.
yeah.
There you go, comparing.
Oh yeah,
Bam.
we do that all the time.
Hey.
Way too much. Comparing ourselves to other people, and also like I was looking up to some people who were creating a lot of music on their own, just
Right.
solo, them being producing music,
Mm.
and sometimes like 10 hours a day, or like create all the time, make so many beats a day, and I was looking up to them, and then I realized like I am different than them, you know, like I am, for example, really someone who thrives on social creating. Like
Yeah, you're
I
good.
like to be in the studio
Yeah, you're-
with someone and
yeah.
then get the vibes and
King of collabs.
yeah. But the funny thing is I'm looking up to someone who's like really introverted, working
Yeah.
by himself all the time.
Yeah.
Why am I even comparing myself to this? You know?
Good question.
Yeah, it's a great question. I
Good
also
question.
don't know the answer.
Why do
Speaking-
we create? Why do we compare ourselves? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
I don't think there's one answer either. It's complicated.
It's a complicated. Yeah. Yeah.
I probably like secretly want to be like them in some way, and that's why I compare myself.
Maybe, but I mean, this is like we're now on the in the field for the psychologists
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Very
so
true.
we have to be very careful
Yeah, no,
for
true.
that.
We can speculate with whatever.
But I think it has a lot to do with self-esteem and self-respect,
yeah,
and
true.
being aware of
Knowing yourself
I am
too.
good enough.
Yeah.
Like I am good enough. Bam. Like, this is basic, good enough. I don't have to be somebody else. I don't have to,
Yeah.
Then the whole point of comparing,
Goes away.
yeah. But this is very difficult
Of
because we are also human beings and we all need to be seen and to be heard by other people.
We're social animals.
Yeah, where we are, like Castaway or the movie Castaway or
I actually saw it this
Robinson
year.
Crusoe.
In lockdown.
It's a major theme
Yeah.
for human beings.
True.
So we need other human beings, but being dependent, that we.
I think there's so much growth in, for example, isolating yourself.
Oh man.
And then
man.
starting to feel comfortable in that.
Oh,
because if
wow.
you can be comfortable in isolation, you can probably deal with
That's
anything.
the thing, and I think going alone. We were talking about this, traveling alone.
Yeah.
I think everything, all the senses, everything you experience is much more intense.
Yeah, true. You also,
There's no
because you don't
distraction.
know where you're going, where you're gonna sleep. Like, you booked the hotel, but you've never been there.
Wow.
It's like you're not in control. As in, for example, today I'm in Amsterdam, but I know after this where I'm going, where I'm sleeping, what I'm
no
doing.
control. Yeah.
There's control.
So you're very much alert.
Yeah.
When you're alert, all your senses are
Yeah.
way up high.
Yeah.
So
literally,
every-
your chemicals are probably even
I think it's a
probably
biological
more- yeah,
thing
for
as
sure.
well. Yeah.
true. Yeah, there's no
Um,
traveling going on right now. That's for sure. I can't wait to. I do have like anxieties about it, but I
Yeah.
also can't wait to
go.
travel.
Where would you want to go?
Two places I really want to go. Like,
I know I
as
asked
soon as
this on
possible. Yeah.
Instagram
Oh,
of one
yeah.
of my pictures.
First one I want to go is to Barcelona, because
Barcelona.
I have great friends there and I
Right.
haven't seen them in forever. And
Right.
they tried to come to the Netherlands 3 times now, and I tried to go, but like every time we are in a lockdown and got cancelled. So I would like a vacation. I haven't been on vacation in a long time. I've been super busy, so it'd be great to have like a week or a couple weeks there to just chill.
And do you take your stuff with you? Are you
Ah,
gonna
yeah, that's a good
create
question.
something? I mean, are they
I don't know yet.
musical friends or?
No, not per se. Not per
Okay,
se. So
right.
I think I have to try to keep it vacation. But maybe I do want to bring my laptop and like make a beat there, because it's a nice place to make a beat, on the balcony in the sun, whatever. But who knows? I think I should keep it chill. And then I would love to go and do a trip to Chicago, obviously, and LA, and like that's work, like really go do sessions and have a
Right,
really big output.
right,
What's
right.
the first place you want to go back?
But I would love to go back to Italy, and I hope I will this summer.
Yeah.
When we're all vaccinated,
Probably. There's a chance.
and we can go by car, of course.
Yeah.
So you create your own bubble. You don't
Yeah.
have to do.
I'm curious what flying is gonna feel like.
Scary, I guess.
Maybe. I
For
think
me,
there's gonna be even more, like, you already have the security and stuff normally, which kind of like stresses you out, but now you also have the COVID vaccinations and negative tests and
Yeah,
stuff
right.
that you have to prove you're fine.
Yeah.
So it adds a little extra layer of
Stress.
intensity.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
can
think
see
so.
that.
Although
yeah.
I spoke to a few friends who traveled domestically in America from
Right.
one city to another, they were like, it's okay.
Same.
But it's in one country. I think if you're doing international or something, it's gonna be intense.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so.
Also, wouldn't want to be with a mask on for 10 hours or something in a plane.
10
That would
hours?
suck. That would be a little
But
bit.
Barcelona is what, 2 hours?
Yeah, that's totally
So-
fine. I wouldn't worry
No
about
problem.
that. Yeah.
No problem whatsoever.
Hope to get vaccinated before I go to the US.
Right, same.
But
Same.
we'll see.
Same.
Also for collaborations, it's a great thing. Like I can do collaborations online right now.
Yeah.
But with vocalists, I really think it's just better to be in the studio.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
So you don't work with vocals. So you don't take the stamps
I
and
do.
just
I do,
create.
but just I prefer being in the studio with them, and I think they do too, mostly because I think for producers it's really a common thing. It's hey, send me some drums, I'll send you some keys, and then
Yeah.
you make a beat together,
Yeah,
whatever.
right.
But for a vocalist, I think it's for example, if you start working on a beat and the vocalist is right there next to you,
yeah.
he or she can already be like, yeah, I really like this, and then you start working on that.
From that,
you
yeah.
hear them humming already, and hear them
Yeah,
writing
right.
something, and you create something together.
Yeah.
And you're both really there in the room, and now it's just like, hey man, can you record something on this? And it's already there, the beat's already done, so he or she wasn't a part of creating that. And then it might take weeks before you get your vocals back, and it's just a process that's a lot harder, unfortunately, than when you are
In
having
the same
someone's
room.
undivided attention.
Do you think it's does it have to do with the like hip hop or lo-fi scene? Because in my world
Kind
as top liner,
Yeah.
it's very common.
What?
You just get sent a beat or a track,
Oh.
instrumental, and you make the top line, write the top line, record everything.
It is really common to do it in lo-fi or hip-hop, but it's just like, I feel like, you know, a lot of friends of mine are rappers, and I
Right.
love rappers,
Right.
but there's this thing with rappers that they are sometimes just unreachable, or
Okay. Okay.
you have to catch them, you know? You have to
Right.
catch them at the right moment in the studio, and then something magical
Right.
appears. That's my experience. And,
Right.
and like, to get them to send you vocals and which sound good, and like, it
That's
happens.
a
and
whole different
it
ball
works
game.
sometimes. It
Right.
works great, but it's harder than just being in a space with
Right.
someone and yo, I'm in the city. Let's create. It's different.
Right. Well, yeah. In my world, as a songwriter, top line writer, it's
It's very
very
common,
yeah,
yeah.
it's very common.
Yeah, true.
And all the top line writers are the vocalists. They're more or less. Everyone is a vocalist. They have great audio. They know how to
Yeah, that's
record. You know,
That's awesome.
it's part of the job.
Yeah.
Being a top
I
line
think
writer.
it's being
So-
more and more normalized that people can record something very high quality at home, and I love it because that's great. You know, if you can, for example, ask your friend who plays saxophone,
Yeah.
hey man, can you send me some over this?
Yeah,
and
right.
then 2 days later, you already
Yeah,
got the saxophone.
yeah.
You pay him for it or whatever
Yeah,
you do to
yeah.
work that deal out,
Yeah.
and it's like, that's awesome. I didn't even see you.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
That-
yeah.
That
yeah.
is magical. You know, you can not do that a couple hundred years back.
And from my point of view, from my perspective, I'm very much inspired by a beat, you know, by a track, an instrumental. Something happens. I hear something, so I start to hum, start to write down
Exactly.
words, make something. So I don't have to be in the same studio with the producer at the same time. As a top line writer,
Yeah.
I like to work alone.
I think
and-
it's really personal preference. I think
I
there's
think
some
it as
artists
well.
who love this,
Yeah.
some artists who
Yeah.
hate this, and some are
Yeah.
in between. They do both.
Right.
And
I think so.
yeah,
Well, we talked about this earlier about the introvert person
Yeah.
versus extrovert person.
Yeah.
Do you need collabs at
Yeah.
stuff like that? So it comes down to who you are and your process, knowing yourself, basically.
I also make very different choices and music when I create alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
That's
so.
funny.
And also, when you're alone, for example, everything, you know, you're really a critic of your own choices. So like,
When you're alone.
yeah, for example, you make something and you're like debating whether that decision was right or not. But if you're with someone and you create something, it's like, do you like this? Yes. Approval, next.
Yeah.
And it goes faster because of that. You can create something pretty fast because you're like, oh, do you like this? Yes. Okay, then I'm good with it. You know, you have two opinions.
Yeah.
I think it can either help a lot or slow the process down.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
also possible.
Well, it's interesting. It's interesting how
Yeah.
how we all create differently and how we respond to each other differently, respond to a situation differently.
And
Yeah,
everything
it's,
is almost online right now, you know. It was a magical moment for me this week when I got my vinyls.
Yeah.
The limited edition vinyl of my album.
Congrats.
Enjoy the Ride came in, and it was
Yeah.
really weird to hold something physical that you made and
Yeah.
then being able to play it
Yeah. Wow.
without touching a computer.
Wow.
And it's just like, whoa, that's rare nowadays, I think.
Right.
And it was really cool.
So you own a record player.
Yeah,
I don't own it, so I don't know how it.
should get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Christmas.
back in the days.
2021.
Back in the
You
days.
probably did have one.
I
back in
did
the
have
days.
one, yeah.
What did you do
I
with
did.
it? A break?
I don't know.
Yeah, whatever.
It was from my mom.
Okay.
She owned it. You know, then back in the day, you had you could own a single and you could
Yeah.
own an LP,
Yeah.
a long player.
Yeah.
and
Oh, you mean like a really small vinyl player for the singles only?
yeah,
Oh,
it's
funny.
just one track.
That's awesome.
One track on this side, one track on the other side.
That's cool.
You
I know of the existence, but I didn't know there were like small vinyl
yeah,
players.
they're like this,
Like,
with the
Cool.
same
like
thing.
a Discman.
Well, no, yeah, like an LP is like this, or an album, what you call.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
then you had a smaller one, and
Yeah.
that we call a
I
single.
think vinyl is still magical, you know. And also you see the album cover really
The
big.
cover,
and you have
wow,
the
man.
back thing. You don't on Spotify or Apple Music or other DSPs. You just don't have the back.
No, that's
And in the vinyl you see the front.
Yeah.
You can turn it around. You have the background. You have the side. You have the inside, which
Yeah,
has a
right.
like all
The
these
inlay,
things where you can
wow.
also graphically do something with. It's amazing.
and big major world art has been created on a cover
Yeah.
of an album.
Yeah,
I
true.
mean, Andy Warhol,
Yeah.
Rolling Stones, and then you had the album that you could open like a double LP, and then you had
Maybe the lyrics even.
All the
you can all
lyrics.
do these extra
Oh,
things.
man.
But obviously it's a niche nowadays. It's like a collector's thing for people who really
I
like
read
you.
something that CD LP, so or vinyl. CD is still going down,
Mhm.
but there's a
Vinyl's-
revival of vinyl.
Oh yeah. I actually believe that, but it's still I think the revival is there, but it's still a small amount of
It is.
people. You know,
It
you
is.
can't expect to
It is.
sell thousands of vinyls as a beginning artist.
No.
It's impossible.
And there used to be. We talked about the Blue Note, and I met this saxophone player, and he was an audiophile, so he had very
Crazy collection.
speakers,
Oh.
like 5,000 euros per piece, so like 10,000 euros, and he only played the Rudy Van Gelder recordings, famous
know it.
engineer. No?
No.
Well, check him out. He's like
Rudy?
Van Gelder.
Is a Dutch guy? Sounds-
Probably,
yeah.
but
like
he's an American guy.
Okay, yeah, sure.
And he was a famous engineer, and he engineered a lot of the Miles Davis, the
Oh.
John Coltrane's, and whatnot, and you had this special vinyl, and then the Rudy Van Gelder who did the engineer, and this saxophone player bought these albums, vinyl albums, and then really, you know, a record player of 3,000 with a needle of 1,500 euros,
Shit.
and then he sat down and just listened in his small time, you know, listening, like meditative magic experience.
That's also the crazy
You're
thing when I
in
played,
the studio.
yeah.
Rudy Van Gelder recorded this live session. Miles Davis, you know, the Jazz Cats, the Blue
Yeah.
Note,
We'll talk about this more, but later, you know, in a different episode. But the thing is with
and then it's like you're there.
yeah, and you're actually listening like it's an album again.
Yeah.
Like, and nowadays the attention span
Streaming,
for,
yeah.
with streaming and stuff for albums is really not there, like barely, or only for like really fans or like.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people just skip through an album and listen the half of it or like part of, or just their favorite collabs or whatever.
It's true.
It's different. And when
It's
I played
true.
my vinyl on the vinyl player, I was like, oh yeah, you can't not listen this as the album. I meant it to be
Yeah.
in this particular order,
Yeah.
and with this intro and interludes and thingies,
Yeah.
you're gonna hear it all.
Yeah.
Because you're not gonna skip through it with the needle.
No,
all
no,
the time.
no,
That's
no.
weird, you know.
No.
So you're gonna hear the album as it
Yeah.
was meant to be, and I
Yeah.
love that. So cool.
Clicking is a lot easier than
Yeah.
lifting up
Exactly.
a needle and
Exactly.
skipping a track, and you have to be really careful where to put the needle. you know,
Don't
you
want to
got
break the vinyl.
yeah, and when you're in between, you're halfway a song. So,
Yeah.
well, for now we got to wrap it up, I guess.
Let's wrap it up. We're at 34 minutes something. We can talk about what we're.
Next
Yeah,
episode.
what's the next episode? We can talk about. I think we should talk about more about like DSPs, like Spotify,
DSPs,
Apple
yeah,
Music,
yeah,
Deezer, all
right.
these thingies.
Yeah, playlisting,
Playlists,
curating,
curators, the functionality of music, like
functionalities.
background music, or,
Yeah.
or maybe not.
Lo-fi with or without vocals.
Instrumental music
Instrumental,
and vocal music in
right.
general.
Yeah.
Maybe our behavior, how we are
Yeah.
listening. So we'll talk about that more next time.
Okay. Well,
Sweet. This is the Punch Me In podcast.
thanks for
episode 2.
listening.
Thank you for listening. And
I hope to see you next time.
exactly.
Okay, bye bye.
Peace out. Punch out.